This video will walk you through the third requirement, which says let's compute the equivalent unit cost for 1 pound making its way through our mixing department. And so this would be steps 3 and step 4 of process costing as we've been learning about them in class. And so I've got these schedules here, and they should be familiar if you've been paying attention in class. And I've got a bunch of formulas already built into here, so you'll notice as I populate some of these fields, numbers will fill in here. So it's kind of the power of Excel. It makes things quick. If you've got a template set up, you can easily reproduce these problems over and over and over and just change the numbers. So the first step is to determine the costs that we have to account for, and this is going to include both the beginning work in process and the costs added in the current month. Okay, so this will just give us an indication of all the costs we need to be looking at. So we'll start with the beginning work in process, and the numbers that we're going to pull in are listed right here for us. We have 20,000 in material, and the conversion costs are these two added together, which would be 40,000. And again, that's for the beginning inventory. So it was $20,000 and then 40,000. And what you'll notice is my total production cost is increasing as I add those in, because this is nothing more than you can't see the formula, but it's this plus this. And the same thing will happen here. So I know the total costs that need to be the total production cost from the beginning, and then the total production cost for the costs added in the current month. And those numbers are given right here to us. We added 211,000 in the month of February for materials, and then for the conversion cost it's 370. So the total cost that we will eventually account for is 231 and 410, a total of 641. And remember, the FIFO method, we need to segregate the costs that were done previously with the costs that are done in the current period. And you'll notice so that's step 3. Step 4 says we're going to calculate the cost per equivalent unit, which is really what we're asking for in this third requirement here. These numbers right here are pulled from up here, right? So what I'm saying is, what are the costs added in the current period? And so it's this number. This one's just a reference to here, and this one's a reference to the 370. And so these are the costs added in the current month, and then we need to divide that by an equivalent unit of production in the current month only. So I take and find out for materials my equivalent units for work done in the current period of 320,000. You'll notice that populated then an equivalent unit cost for each pound, and that is nothing more than $211,000 divided by the equivalent units of production, which gave us the 66 cents. We do the same thing for the conversion costs. We pull in the equivalent units, 360. We have $1.03 of conversion costs. So this formula here was simply to add both of these together, and we now have an answer for the third requirement, which says it's $1.69 per pound, and we know the details of that, how much is material as opposed to how much is material or labor and overhead.